Hey, how's it going everybody? Welcome back to another Gemstone Legends video. And in this video, we have a very interesting new legendary hero that I will do a quick review of, and then I'm going to do some, I think, pretty serious summons unless I get lucky. So we have Omura probably. Really cool hero, in my opinion. Grants Reflect to all allies for 3 turns. That's just a nice way of throwing some damage back at the opponent. Inflicts decreased defense on all enemies for 1 turn. Deals damage to all enemies based on 165% defense. So you know how I like defense-based damage dealers because they're quite stout and survivable. Enemies from the Stellar Dynasty, so the Astral heroes, faction, have their gained mana reduced by 2.5% from all sources for every 900 defense she has. So it should be pretty feasible to get her up to 4,500 defense, which would be a reduction of 12.5, which is pretty nice. 12.5 reduction of mana just as a passive ability. Gains increased defense at the start of her turn for 2 turns. Immune to soul corruption. So she seems to be obviously designed to fight astral heroes, which is pretty nice. The first hero we've seen like that. Soul corruption, I think, is the skill that, what's her name? Scorpius does. The one that you buy with shards from the like event shop kind of thing. I don't actually know what it does because it hasn't been added to the library yet. But yeah, a nice defense-based damage dealer with Reflect. Seems pretty good to me. I'm curious to see what tomes would do, what's possible. So let's pop over to the lexicon real quick. Mana gain can pretty easily be up to 20, which is great. But yeah, let's pop over to Lexicon and see what kind of upgrade ability she has. I would not have guessed that she was from the Far East faction. That was a surprise for me. Okay, so standard is Reflect for 3, defense down for 1, 165. Defense down doesn't increase. Damage only increases by a minor amount to 180. That's actually pretty low. So I think it's all going to be about her passive. And then Reflect for 4 turns. Let's see. She doesn't need very many tomes, though. It's only 11 tomes, which is far fewer than some heroes take, which is nice. So standard is 2.5 for every 900, and increased defense for 2. And then that doubles to 5 for every 900. So if you have 4,500 defense, say, it wouldn't be hard to go above that. But if you want to have crit rate of 100 and crit damage, 180 plus, then 45 is probably a reasonable defense. Then you have 25% reduction in mana, which is significant. Increased defense for 3 turns, and mana gain increased by 1, so you don't have to worry about putting caster gear on her. Okay, so this seems like a really, really, really good hero to have because people don't have huge stables of Stellar Dynasty heroes because of how costly they are to obtain and to upgrade. Having this kind of hero can just be your anti-astral team in a sense, or part of an anti-astral team. So I really do want this hero. So let's see if we can manage. So I've used a few platinum scrolls. I'm tempted. We'll start with the shards. I'm tempted to throw in a few just to see if we can make this happen more easily instead of delving deeply into... Oh man, the mind game's in there. instead of delving deeply into the gold scrolls, which is probably what I'll end up doing. I don't like burning a bunch of platinum scrolls at once for some reason. Wow. I feel like they updated this animation to look even more like it has orange in it. Am I tripping? I talk about this in every video, but please let me know if you agree or disagree with me on this because it's really messing with my head. Okay, that's 3 down. I think I was at 877. So this is the 4th. 3 more for guaranteed. At most 3 more. I guess we'll do that since I have the shards. And we'll see if we can get lucky. Okay, this is it for sure. Okay, so what was different about that? I don't know. Fuck. Damn it. Not a bad hero to have by any means, but not the purple that we wanted. Something was different about that one. The animation, because I could see that even before. All right. This is an epic. Statistically, that was the right choice to make in terms of my guess. Epic. Wonder if I can learn to call this. All right, we'll do one more. 8 platinums. All right. Maybe it's different. I don't know. This is like making me want to just like study the animations to uncover the secrets. All right. I guess we're going to golds. So got our legendary, which reset our mercy counter for platinum. And unfortunately, we did not get the legendary hero that we want, or one that we need. I do have a maxed copy of Esmeralda already. I don't think she's one of the top heroes, so I think for me, having one is enough. If you use her a lot more, you think she's a particularly important part of a team that you think is one of your better teams, let me know, because I would be very interested to hear that. She's actually not part of a consistent team. I throw her in for the boosted critical damage, so I use her on I like her on the green raid boss team that I use with Akuma as my primary damage dealer. So I have the attack up from Aurora and the increased crit damage from Esmeralda, which in addition to the stacks of statuses, boosts the damage to the absolute max. I really hope it's not one of those days where the feature does not go my way. That's always so annoying. I still have those 2 diamond scrolls from a while back now. And I wonder, not too many tomes for a 25% reduction in mana is pretty huge. This is now only the 2nd hero of this type, unless there are epics or rares that do this, but the first legendary was also the Far East hero, the green guy with the kind of like bug mask. And he reduced all heroes' mana gain by a certain percent, but nothing even close to 25%. So obviously that's with tomes, but having that ability to cut down the strongest faction of heroes in the game is pretty remarkable, and I do really want that. Because there's those times in war where you're just like facing an astral team or something, and because that team is much less board dependent, because any matches will charge them up, slowing them down would be fantastic. I'm really hoping that This next Mercy is in my favor if it comes to the Mercy. Hopefully it goes before, but it's still I'm a broken record, but this animation thing is still really messing with my head, and the fact that one looked different at the very beginning, but then I've seen other ones that have looked like that too. There have to be like a few subtle variations, because at one point you could skip everything but legendaries, so you knew if it froze on the scroll like it does when it's an epic, that you had a legendary, you could skip everything else. And they changed it to build suspense, or I don't know why they changed it, but them changing it built suspense with the epics, where you were like, okay, what is it, epic or legendary? And that made you start to maybe it didn't for you, but it made me start to hyper scrutinize the animation to try to predict what was going to happen. And if you watch my summons videos, you know that I've been loosely obsessed with it ever since that point. Whoa, that one. Oh, I was like, that was very weird, but it's because I didn't skip it. Alrighty. Let me know what you think of this hero. If you have any team building suggestions. The defense down doesn't last long enough to capitalize on, unless you have another, probably ideally purple hero with nearly identical speed, as close as possible. Because what can happen is, basically, if you had all of your 5 heroes in a row at exactly the same speed, they would always, well, not always, but far more often than not, they would all have a turn 5 in a row. There's advantages to getting early turns, especially in war, because you can use your war machines and take out a particular hero that is either a threat or is going to cause a problem. Oh shit, we got lucky. Did we get doubly lucky? Yes, we did. Didn't even come to the Mercy. That's awesome. And I was zoned out talking. Wow, that sword is incredibly long. Let me see if I can finish my thought. Yes, you would have your 5 turns in a row. If the first hero put defense down, that defense down would stay for your entire 5 turns, because statuses only decrease on let's see, negative statuses only decrease on the turn of the hero possessing them. So if you're on offense, and you put defense down, that would be the enemy team is possessing that defense down. So it's only going to decrease in turns on their turn. Positive statuses are the same. So statuses only change based on the statuses only change on the turn of the team possessing the statuses. That's how I want to say that. So if you had, for example, Finbor as another hit all purple, and the speed of these 2 heroes was very close, then you could fire her first and him right after and make use of the defense down that's only otherwise going to last for 1 turn. If any enemy has a turn between her placing it and the other hero that you want to use, then you're not going to be able to capitalize on that. So, very long, poorly told explanation of how you can utilize short status durations like that. Okay, so because of her utility being so significant and so uniquely significant, I am going to give her full tomes, because she has a very important part to play. Unfortunately, not a great leader ability. I don't know what the team would be, so if you have any team suggestions, let me know. In my opinion, the Reflect is just icing on the cake, so to speak. Just a helpful thing to have in many situations. 4 turns of it is good. But yeah, it's all about this mana gain reduction. And then increased defense at the start of her turn. So yeah, she's going to be one you want to build for defense, crit rate, and some accuracy wouldn't hurt. That's the unfortunate thing, is like her damage is more important, I would say, because the defense down is only 1 turn. It's hard to capitalize on that. You need the perfect team to do so. So I wouldn't recommend using your equipment to do that, because the equipment is like a, how do you say that? You have to make sacrifices. You have to choose what things are most important, and that will involve making other kinds of sacrifices. So I don't recommend sacrificing damage for accuracy, because the accuracy is not going to be that helpful in many cases. All right, there you have it. Let me know if you had any luck with this, if you what your thoughts on the hero, all the kind of prompts that I gave throughout the video to share your thoughts here. It's not only for my benefit, but anyone else who watches the video can learn from your sage wisdom. So thank you for sharing that with all of us, myself included. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if you're not currently playing Gemstone Legends, there are download links in the description to get you started with a free $50 starter bonus. You will not get the starter bonus if you download from the App Store, so make sure to download from one of the links in the description and get that free bonus. Get off to a better start than you would be able to otherwise. And yeah, that's that. Thank you guys so much for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, and all of that. And I will see you in the next video.